What's going on, everybody? Hey, yo, Derek here. Welcome. If this is your first time, welcome back. If you've been before, if it is your first time, quick introduction. My name is Derek, covering everything wholesaling real estate on the channel, specifically virtually wholesaling real estate. That's what I'm doing. Live out in California, and I'm sourcing opportunity out in Houston, Texas. So if you're out in the Houston market, either physically or virtually, feel free to reach out. I'd love to connect, see if we can make something happen on any future deals. Best way to get a hold of me is going to be either the Instagram link or the Discord link in the description. The Discord being the better of the two. And do me a favor before you leave, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Another quick little tidbit. There's a couple. Happy Thursday. What's going on, Lala? A couple affiliate links down in the description for batch products that I personally use, both batch leads and batch skip tracing. So if you're looking to get a list stacker, a comping tool, SMS tool, batch leads does all that. And if you're looking for a skip tracing provider, I personally use batch skip tracing, and there's another link down there for the skip tracing as well. So if you want to support me and support the channel, by all means, go ahead and click through those links in order to sign up. If you want to go ahead and do it at your own discretion, that's fine with me too. What's going on, Lala? Happy Thursday. My day's going good. It's very productive. I wanted to hop on here and update you. Earlier, I was running into some internet issues, so I only went live for like less than 10 minutes. I've considered taking it down, but people are still watching it and liking it. So I'll leave it up as long as it gets a little bit of engagement. So, but yeah, I've just really been working on Dispo for the past few days. So I wanted to come on here, update you on what my disposition efforts have been thus far, and then hopefully get a little bit of cold calling done as well, because I know I've fallen back on my lead generation, right? So, quick update. Under contract right now, partnering with a couple of subscribers to the channel, both Jared and Reina. If you've been watching recently, you'll know that I've been passing my Spanish speaking leads along to Reina for her to reach out in Spanish, as she's bilingual. This is one where I cold called the woman. She had let me know that she's interested and provided a different address than the one that I had called on. What's going on, Jared? Do a little recap. Kicked it over to Jared and Reina. Reina had reached out. She has been working the acquisition side of things. Jared, Reina ended up meeting with the seller in person and getting the agreement signed. And this past weekend, they were able to get inside the property as well and take some pictures. Property's in way worse condition than one, we anticipated, and two, what was disclosed to us by the seller. So it is, in my opinion, some grounds for renegotiation. But until we get that real solid buyer feedback where they are telling us, like, look, we're going to be at this number for this property, we kind of want to hold off on going back to the seller and renegotiate it until we get that firm feedback, right? And then we can just kind of play telephone, reiterate the feedback that we're getting from the buyers and tell it to the seller, right? The buyers are going to say, hey, we need it to be at this number because of this, and this issue that popped up on the walkthrough. Then we can go back to the seller and say, hey, look, this, and this popped up on the walkthrough. Our contractors are letting us know that it's going to be way more expensive than we had thought, or whatever, however, Raina wants to phrase it or whatever. But just the fact that she didn't disclose that the tenant is a hoarder, that's like the biggest thing, right? Like, hey, you didn't tell us that the place was stacked with junk, floor to ceiling, in every single room. That's gonna affect what we're able to pay a little bit. So that's the main issue. It's not even an issue. It's just like the main thing that I'm sure will be discussed if we do go back and renegotiate the price. So thus far, in terms of my disposition efforts, I have blasted out an email to my email list. So what I'm doing is I'm constantly, like, all day, well, not all day, but when I sit down and put in the effort, I'm scanning Facebook groups for investor activity. People who are either posting as a wholesaler saying, hey, I'm a wholesaler, I have some properties under contract, I'm looking to assign it to an end buyer. If you're a cash buyer, drop your email. And I'm reaching out to everybody who dropped their email. I can read you the message. I say, Hey, first name. That first name is the only thing. I copy and paste the message and I'm only swapping out the first name. Hey, first name. I saw you commented on a recent post in a Houston real estate group looking for some deals. I have a property under contract now and I'm looking to assign my interest in it to an end buyer. If you have any interest, let me know. I'd love to send it your way. Uh, a very small, and it's funny in doing this now, I realize that every aspect of this business is a numbers game, right? So I'll send that message off to like 100 people and 5 to 10 of them may reply. I'm still taking the email, even if they don't reply, I'm still taking the email that they commented with and I'm adding it to my buyers list. But for the ones who reach out to me directly, I'm able to develop a little bit more of a conversation. I've had a couple people say, hey, yeah, this one's just not for me, but please do send me all future deals. And then I'll say, okay, are there any, specific zip codes that you prefer buying in? Any property specs? Do you prefer 3 bedrooms? Do you prefer 2 bedrooms? Do you prefer any type of price points? And now I'm starting to build out a little bit of a buyer's list that is custom tailored, if you will, right? So like you'll hear the big players in the industry, the gurus, they are segmenting their buyers lists because they have buyers, 10,000 plus lists, but that doesn't mean that every deal is attractive to every single one of those buyers. And it's just much more efficient to send the deals to the buyers that are going to be attracted to it. So if I get a deal in this zip code at this price point at with this many bedrooms and bathrooms, I can refer to my segmented list and say these 5 to 7 buyers are going to be perfect for this property. So I'm just taking note of that and kind of vetting my buyers. I haven't really done that in the past, but now I'm kind of allowing the conversation to unfold so that they know, that I will reach out to them and I tell them, and I'm going to do this. I will reach out to them directly before I just blast it out to 2,000 people. I'm going to bring it to them directly because I want to build a relationship with them that goes far beyond just the one deal that we do. So again, every day I've been kind of doing that, reaching out, hundreds of messages probably on Facebook and taking those emails and adding them to my cash buyers list, and then I am email blasting. I've email blasted that list that is just continually growing because of my efforts through Facebook outreach. Um, and I've emailed every day. I've emailed, I think once on, or maybe I emailed Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, or Monday, yesterday, Thursday. I've emailed it 3 times in the last 4 days. And now we have a walkthrough scheduled for Sunday. Because when I first started blasting it out and first started, all of my disposition efforts, a lot of people were saying, yeah, I'm interested. When can I check out the property? And that seems to be like a common thread, right? Which is why it's ideal if you can future pace and set expectations with both the seller and tenant and get every part of the process solidified and scheduled. That way, there's no hiccups in the communication with the buyers. Because I had like 3, 4 buyers that said, "Yeah, when can I walk the property?" And I just had to say, we're coordinating with the tenant. Um, when we get a confirmation on the date and time, I'll be sure to round back with you. Now I've done that, but I don't know if I've heard back from any of those buyers. So, now I just got to make sure that I'm kind of hassling them. I've followed up with them like multiple times a day over the last, 24 hours since we've had that walkthrough scheduled. But that's kind of like a little tidbit that I've taken away from this and that I want to pass on to you guys. If there's any way for you to get every part of, like I said, every part of the process being the property walkthrough for the pictures as well as the property walkthrough for cash buyers like a week later, and maybe even set expectations that there's going to be a lot of people walking through the property, right? And we may have to get back in there one extra time, just depending, it's going to be a per deal basis depending on how lenient the seller and tenant is. In this case, neither one of them, the tenant especially, was not is not being very cooperative, so it was difficult in order to get these things scheduled. um, but yeah, wanted to pass that along because I think that that is something that I've taken away from this. And I hope now that I'm able to round back with those sellers that initially express interest in both making an offer but walking the property, and I'm able to round back with them and get confirmation that they do plan on showing up. So email blasts, I've sent off like one a day, and now today I've been changing the subject lines. And today I included that there was a schedule showing, or showing scheduled. I keep saying that, showing scheduled, or I guess scheduled showing works too. But Facebook groups, I've posted it in 20 different Facebook groups. They've only gone up in 16 because like four of them are probably just so inactive that the moderator of the group never approved the post. So that it's like fine by me. Like if the group's so inactive that the post can't even get approved, then it's probably not a group where I'm gonna be, gaining a lot of traction anyways. But every morning, what I've done, and probably gonna do uh every night as well, is go in to all of the posts. So what I'll do is I will go to my Facebook, I will go to groups, I will search groups, I will search my first and last name, and then I will filter it by group post. So it shows me all of the times that I've posted in any of my groups in order, and then I can come in, and this is I mentioned this earlier, but it's kind of a little trick that I've taken from, I used to resell sneakers back in the day. I mean, recently, but way back in the day too. I used to resell sneakers, and what you would do on these huge forums that are like hundreds of thousands of people, where somebody new is posting like every minute, so your post is going to get flooded by all the recent activity. So in order to bring yours to the top of the page, they refer to it as bumping your posts. So back in the day, you used to just go and comment on your own post and comment saying bump, right? So people knew what you were doing. I'm bumping my post. And it'll do that because Facebook shows either the most recent post or the most recent post with the most recent comment, right? So it doesn't even have to be a recent post. As long as it has the most recent comment, then it's going to bump it to the top of the feed. So what I've been doing every morning is going in and just you'll either see bump or B. So I just go in and I delete my last bump so that when somebody sees it, it's not just like 10 comments of me saying bump 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 bump, or rather B B B B B. So I'll delete my last B comment and then drop a new B comment, and that bumps it to the top of the feed. Little trick for you guys. That's something you don't hear every day. Um, that so email blast, Facebook groups. I posted to Craigslist twice a day in two different areas, both the real estate by owner and the general for sale by owner. Posted it there, or rather, I posted it there once on Tuesday, twice. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, once on Tuesday, twice in both areas. Um, yesterday, and I've posted it twice in both areas thus far today, and I plan on posting it again in both areas this afternoon. So my goal is to put 6 new posts up on Craigslist every day, because there's really no limit. And if you've been on Craigslist, you'll see multiple posts um, of the same exact property or whatever it is that's being sold. You'll see that. Did you pull prop stream list yet? No, I tried earlier. It won't let me sign up for a free trial. It like knows either my credit card or I switched the email. I used my same name. I can still mess around with it, but it kind of denied my ass. Um, and then earlier, I mean, and now I just posted it to my social media because I do have a lot of people in my ecosystem on Instagram of flippers in the area in Houston. Um, and I've also posted it to Facebook. I have more connections on Facebook than I do on Instagram because I made a point to. This is another trick. Facebook allows up to 5,000 friends on Facebook, and I forget who said this way back in the day when I was into digital marketing for small business owners. They say if you don't have 5,000 friends, you're missing out on opportunities. It's like having the ability to buy 5,000 lottery tickets for free, and you just saying, just give me like 1,500. You know what I mean? It's Facebook allows up to 5,000 and no more than 5,000. So you should have 5,000 friends at all times. I don't even think I have 5,000. So I'm kind of, uh, you know, not preaching or practicing what I preach, but I do have like 4,500 or something like that. And that's why you'll see on Facebook too. You'll see people post like, um, purging my friends list or clearing my friends list. Comment on this post if you don't want to be deleted, something like that, because they know, hey, I have 5,000 friends on Facebook, but I, I bet a good amount of money that only half of them are active. So it's just kind of wasted space, wasted friends on my friends list. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to purge my friends list, remove all these friends who I've either never done business with, never talked with. They haven't posted on their Facebook in 3 years, and all that. So you're just constantly cycling and refreshing your friends list on Facebook. It's another trick for you guys. It's kind of not real estate related, but can be used for your benefit in doing this. Posted my Instagram, my Facebook earlier, just like a minute ago, really. And earlier, I wasn't able to get this on video because there's a lot of stuff going on in my apartment, and I was having internet issues. But I reached out to realtors last night. I built a list of all of the comps that were sold as is in the area, and I made a list and I said, okay, when did it sell? Did it sell as is or was it a flip? I noted who I should be reaching out to, either the buyer's agent or the seller's agent. The buyer's agent I'm reaching out to if the property was sold as is, because the realtor was representing the buyer who was buying this investment project, right? So um I wouldn't want to reach out to the seller's agent because they're just representing probably a really dirty, messy homeowner, right? But the person who's representing the buyer is likely an investor, or rather, the client of the realtor is likely an investor who invests in not only this property that I'm seeing, but other properties. So I reached out to 7 realtors. I spoke with 5 of them, left a voicemail on the 6th, and the 7th, he just hung up on me. And that was like honestly the guy who I wasn't really caring about speaking with. He's like a really older I did like a little research on these people last night, in order to find their phone numbers and which brokerage they worked with and all that good stuff. And he seemed like really old. And I don't mean to knock the guy, but he's just, I would imagine, wasn't going to be familiar with what it is that I was proposing to him. So if there was going to be anybody on the list that I didn't really care to speak with, it was him. And I answered and I asked for him by name, and he hung up on me. So I was like, all right, whatever. Not going to try him back. But spoke with one. Um, she said that she was going to. I sent her an email. I think I sent her an email, but she was going to speak with her investor client. I want to double check to see if I sent her an email. I don't think I did. She just said she was going to speak with her client and get back to me if there was any interest in buying any more investments. Um, Spoke with one gentleman who, again, we had the conversation unfold, and this was a really productive conversation. He let me know. He was like, "Yeah, text me your full name and shoot me the email with all the pictures and details. Thanks for the tips, of course, Lala." Uh, and then we got to talking. I was like, "Do you work with like a lot of investor clients?" And he's like, "Yeah, I got a good handful. They are really interested in land right now. They will work single families if the numbers work." And I was like, "All right, do they work any like specific price points or zips?" And he just listed me off a bunch of zip codes. He gave me like 10 different zip codes. And he would have kept going if I didn't cut him off. But he was like, yeah, for a land deal in any of these areas, like I would probably need it to be close to like 30,000 for the numbers to make sense. For single families, obviously it's going to change. Uh, but that was a really good conversation that I had with the guy, and we just went back and forth a little bit, kind of shooting the shit, and ended up emailing him. So I'm expecting an email back from him. Have you heard of Privy? No, I've never heard Privy. What's that? Reach out to the one who I was most excited about speaking with, which was the comp of the recently sold home right across the street, literally right across the street. Same, like it's almost cookie cutter. Very, because our property is on a very small lot, and that's the issue with trying to find comps in the area. And that's what actually a lot of feedback that I've been getting as well from buyers. They said, "Hey, this is looks like a great property, but just not enough spread on it because it's unforeseen what we're going to be able to get for it on the back end because of this small lot." Um, so that is feedback that I've gotten from a handful of buyers saying that the lot is really what's deterring them from moving forward. Not that, they're not up for a big rehab, which this will be, but the lot size is really what's deterring them. Yo, what's going on, Jeremy? Thanks for hopping in here. But I spoke with the realtor who repped the buyer on the one right across the street that sold as is about 4 months ago. And she was like really excited because, again, right across the street from something there where you repped the buyer on, and sent her an email. She asked what we were asking in terms of price. I said 110, and she was like, oh, "Okay, cool." Like she seemed really excited about the price as well because she knows that the other one, which was purchased for 125, ours is in far worse condition than that one was, and it's 100 square feet smaller. So I truly don't think that somebody's going to be upwards of 110, but I've been putting it out at 110 or best offer. Spoke with her. The other gentleman hung up on me. Another woman, she seemed old school too, like wasn't really like having what I was putting down, if that makes sense. Like she just wasn't really having it. She was like kind of dismissing me, and it's kind of difficult, really. I'm gonna be honest. It was difficult to have a conversation with her, especially after talking with the other two realtors at that point, where we were having great conversations. My spirits were high, and I reached out to her, and she was like, not again, like not really understanding what I was proposing. Um, and she was just like, "Yeah, send me the information, send it to me, whatever." Um, and I was like, "Okay, I'll send you the information." Um, yeah, and then spoke with another one. It was kind of something similar. Sent her the information, and another one I left a voicemail for. So yeah, that's kind of been the extent of my dispo efforts here. Um, give you kind of like a little bit of a update of what we're expecting or what I'm able to compile. I have received 4 offers sight unseen. One of them who is somebody who may walk the property on Sunday. She needs to check her schedule. She offered 80,000. As a reminder, before I list these off, we have it under contract for 85. So sight unseen offer from her at 80. Somebody who said that he essentially wasn't interested because of the lot size, um, and just because of the spread there, and the risk associated with selling it on the back end due to the lot size. So he threw out 70,000, but I don't even know if he would have actually bought it for 70. He because he essentially told me, no, I'm not interested. I would need to be somewhere like 70. Um, so he's not interested, but he made an offer. Another guy emailed through Craigslist. 2 guys. One guy offering, he said 82 to 85, and it's just kind of weird. Craigslist is kind of weird. Um, it's a platform where you get MLS access and you're able to see pictures of the properties before and after, updated comps. Only thing not provided is skip tracing. Interesting. Interesting. What are you proposing? Nice man. I'm proposing an assignment of the contract that we have. And I haven't spoken with a huge number of realtors, but with the ones that I have spoken with, it's hit or miss. They're either going to know exactly what you're talking about or not at all, or they know what you're talking about and just don't have any interest in working in that realm of real estate. And I feel like that's kind of where she was sitting, where it was like, yeah, I know what you're doing, but like, I don't want to be a part of that, which is fine by me, you know. But yeah, back to Craigslist. It's like people will reach out, but they're like, I feel like the oddest people reach out through Craigslist. I just don't know. Right, I'll read you the email. This guy emailed me earlier saying, "Hello, I would like to make you an offer for your property listed. I am looking to buy it outright without any financing within the next 2 weeks. Please let me know if you would be willing to take an offer in the range of 82 to 85,000. Then you can provide access for me to make you a definite offer. Note, I will pay for all the closing costs. If you need any proof of funds or references to see how serious I am, I will be happy to share with you in the event of an agreement." I was like, all right, cool. Um, I emailed him maybe 30 minutes later. Thanks for your inquiry, and I let him know that we're going to be having people walk the property. That offer of 82 to 85 may be a little low for us at this point since we do have other interested parties. And then he just never emailed me back. Um, right. And then somebody else who emailed me off of Craigslist. Hi, I'm a local real estate agent for investors, and one of my clients would like to get on your list. Is this something you can do? They're a cash buyer. I emailed them back and I said, yep, absolutely. Blah, yada, yada. Never emailed me back. I was like, three. And again, he didn't really need to email me back, but um, now this guy emailed me yesterday. Hey, I'm interested in the property. I'm an investor looking to buy property, all cash as is, and close quickly. And this is what I'm saying. Like, this is what leads me to believe that he's like another wholesaler, or would have been perfect if we had it locked up at 50. Oh yeah, 50 would have been golden. Uh, so just listen to the language of this email. It's what leads me to believe that he's like not a serious buyer or a wholesaler. I feel like he's phony. He's phony just in the language itself. He says, "Hello, first and last name here. I'm interested in the property that you listed on Craigslist. I'm an investor looking to buy this property all cash, as is, and close quickly. When you get a chance, could you message me back as soon as you can so I can send my offer and hopefully we can come to an agreement?" And I said, "Hey, thanks for reaching out. Here's a link for some additional pictures. Feel free to reply with your offer or any other questions that you may have. Thanks. I'll check them out. Are you the owner or are you assigning? Also, ARV question mark. I said, we are direct to seller and assigning our interests. We are coordinating with the tenant now to set up a time to walk the property, and I just disregarded his question about ARV. He says, sounds good. Right now, I'd just like to make my offer, then get one of my guys to go in and check it out. What's the address? Gave him the address. Got it. Thanks. I'd like to lock this property in at $102,100 all cash. It's the highest offer we've gotten. Obviously, it's attractive. It's about 17,000 over what we have it contracted for. Buying as is and closing quickly. If we can come to an agreement, then I'll send all the paperwork over to you. And then he says, another email. No more than 1 minute later. Repair costs? Question mark. Another email. 3 minutes later. Would that offer work for you guys? If so, I'd like to get everything in today. I email him about 20 minutes later. I said, thanks for the offer. Before you draft anything up, like what else does your offer entail? Are you agreeable to the non-refundable earnest money? Will there be any inspection contingencies? Because I just wanted to save the guy time. If he was trying to just say, yeah, I'll lock it in for 102, but it's going to be contingent on an inspection, right? Then it's not really now you're just asking for an option period. You're not truly making an offer sight unseen, right? So that's something else you got to be careful with. Another tip that I learned this on my first deal. People will make you offers, quote unquote, sight unseen, but what a lot of people are doing is asking for an option period. So this guy's essentially, let's just assume that this guy is making an offer, but it's going to be contingent on a satisfactory inspection, right? That's no different than what we're doing with the seller. We're just essentially asking for an option period. Hey, give me a little bit of time and I'm going to try to make these numbers work. That's essentially what we're saying to the seller without saying it. And that's essentially what these buyers are saying to the wholesalers without saying it, right? So they're not truly making an offer sight unseen. They're just asking for an option period. They're saying, hey, if the numbers work, I can do 102,000, but we're gonna need to walk the property. We're gonna need, yeah, like of course, but then why draft it up at all? Because then what happens is if you agree to an exclusive option period with another buyer, then you're not allowed to market it out to anybody else because they have the exclusive option to purchase the property. And that throws everything off for you in terms of disposition efforts because nothing is preventing that buyer from then walking the property and renegotiating the price just as we would with the seller, right? Oh, I didn't know this was part of the property. When we walked it, this is the cash buyer talking to you. Oh, we walked the property and you didn't say there was foundation damage. You didn't say this. You didn't say this. We're going to need it probably at like 70,000. Okay, well, no, that's not a deal. We're not going to do that. And you just wasted however many days of my time that I could have spent marketing it to other buyers, right? So be careful with that. Be careful. If somebody's going to make you an offer sight unseen, figure out whether or not it's going to be contingent on something. If there's contingencies, some contingencies can be agreeable. You can agree to some contingencies. I've On my last closed deal, I threw in a contingency on the assignment agreement to say that the non-refundable earnest money would become refundable if the tenant was not if they didn't vacate the property before the closing date. So essentially, that's the only reason why or if some other reason, part on my end. If me personally, as the wholesaler, or the tenant doesn't move out at the time of closing, that's the only way that your earnest money will become refundable. Um, and I was okay with that because I was confident that the tenant was going to get out, and they did, and it was no issue, right? But to reiterate, that deal, that was a true sight unseen offer. He did not walk the property. I sent him an assignment agreement. He signed it. He put up his non-refundable earnest money before he even had somebody walk the property. And there was no language in the assignment agreement making it contingent on his walkthrough. He was just needing to walk it through to really make sure. But to him, it was worth risking the I think 3,000 earnest money that was going to go non-refundable as soon as he submitted it. He was worth risking. It was worth it to him to risk that 3,000 to lock the deal up, because he saw the pictures, he knew what he was getting himself into. Um, so it wasn't contingent on his walkthrough. He just wanted to walk through to know whether or not he was going to lose that 3,000 or not. So that's what this guy sounds like. The fact that he never emailed me back, and then I followed up with him today, a couple hours ago, hasn't responded. So I said this to Jared when I sent it through to him. I sent him a screenshot of the offer of 102,000. I was like, yeah, it looks attractive, but I'm not getting my hopes up quite yet because it came from Craigslist. That alone kind of just raises a red flag with me. But um, I've had those 4 offers. One person confirmed to walk the property on Sunday. I have 7 others that have expressed interest in walking the property that I just need to confirm. And a handful of other people that have shown interest, asked for the address. I stopped keeping track of those people. Um, I was making a list of all these people who have like gone out of their way to ask for the address because it wasn't included or have provided proof of funds or stuff like that. But if they're not expressing interest in walking the property, they're not truly like a warm lead in the disposition aspect of things. So again, I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people who have expressed interest in walking it, one person who's confirmed to walk it, and 4 offers. That kind of gives me a general understanding of where people would be. I think Jared, somebody had let him know that they'd be around 70 as well. So we've had 2 offers at 70, one at 80, one a little higher than that, 82 to 85. Granted, that one was from Craigslist, and then one at 102, which is from Craigslist. So that's what I got going in terms of dispo. Um, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with things. What was I just got a message. What's up, Derek? What was ARV on that property? I'm currently out right now and can't run numbers, but one of my investors are asking. Ah, um, Difficult to say. A lot of a lot of the comps that I came across were purchased as is. Seems to be a rental market. Uh, if I had to put a number on it, I'd say 165 to 175. Dated a little bit. Although I had, all right, here is Mohammed. Uh, the gentleman who was like, "Ah, no, I wouldn't be interested at that number. I would probably need to be around 70." He said, "I don't think I'll be your buyer on this one. I'm not a huge fan of the value. I'm in the market for properties above the 250,000 ARV mark. Due to the small size lot, this seems just shy of 200K ARV with a lot of work. If I were to buy this one, I would need to well below purchase price. I would say around 70K." So, um, somebody who maybe we're able to round back with, if we don't get any other biters, maybe we can renegotiate and have him come up a little bit. But it would, he would have to come up quite significantly. We would have to get it reduced quite significantly in order to create a spread there. But I found it interesting that he put ARV shy of 200. Uh, so it was a little reassuring that that's how at least one person is looking at it. And then I wanted to come in here, and I've had a few people text me back. So many texts. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but something happened where it was a learning lesson for me. My text got cut off on Tuesday, but it was in the middle of a mass text. So like I told the system, hey, text these 200 property owners over the course of every minute, 8 to 10 every minute. Um, but there's a time in which it gets cut off, and it got cut off, but it still had like 50 to 100 people to text, and I didn't know that. And then what happened is right when the window opened up again yesterday at like 10 a.m. or whenever I tell my system that it's okay to start sending texts off, they sent it off all at the same time. So I had like hundreds of texts being sent off from the same number all at the same time, which is rather annoying because you can add it in drip mode right now, but you can't say if it gets cut off and it starts again tomorrow, do it in drip mode then too. So all my numbers got flagged as spam like almost immediately. So I spent a bunch of time last night going and buying new numbers from Twilio and reassigning them into the campaigns and doing all that crazy stuff. But uh, I was able to do it outside of the hours in which texts go out, and now it's like nothing ever happened. So I'm glad that I caught it when I did. And I've had a few people text me back right now. So this guy says, looking at properties in my area, no less than 100K, no less 93K. Don't really know what that means, but I was getting ready to go ahead. His estimate is 95. I was going to comp this one real quick. See what it's looking like. Estimated value on batch leads is 145, which is reassuring. This guy does not own any other properties per batch leads, does not have any foreclosures or liens, no MLS listings as of recently. Total assessed value at 71 last year, which is interesting as well. Looks like he owes about 20 on the mortgage. I'll go ahead and look at single family, residential, sold within the last 12 months, built within the last 10 years, or built within 10 years of each other, rather. Square footage, plus or minus, I'll say 30 on this one. Say 25 on this one. Located within a half mile for now, and square footage on this is 5,200. So I will say plus or minus 50%. Right? See how many that gives me. Shoot, hardly any. I got one. What's preventing so much? Residential, single family sold, and I'll say the last 24 months, built within 10 years. Square footage, I'll say plus or minus 30%, located within a half mile. Yeah, it's only giving me two properties. One that one went as is, I would imagine, on the opposite side of this main road, but it sold for 79,000 about a month ago. Same year built, smaller lot, about 200 square feet bigger, 58, and an extra bathroom. So that's not good. That means ours would sell for around 49 if it was in similar condition, right? 10, 30, 30 off of 79. Oh no, I'm tripping. Yeah, no, no, 30 off of 79, 49. If you want to give us a little bit because of our bigger lot, it's hardly bigger. Let's call it 50. Probably 50,000 is where it'd be. There's one again on the other side of a different main road that sold for 160 in September, 3 years older, bigger lot. I'll let those offset. Ours is 100 square feet bigger and an extra bedroom on ours. So I'd say 20 on top of what that one sold for, 180 being ARV. I really don't like using this one as a comp though, because it crosses that main road. Where are you getting this info from? I just got here. I'm getting it from Batch Leads. Batch Leads is where I run my comps. C. Magdaleno, I think this is the first time I've seen you in here, so I appreciate you jumping on, and I greatly appreciate you asking a question as well. Love to have you. Do me a favor, hit that like, subscribe button before you leave, and you can check out Batch Leads if you're interested. One of the links in the description. Just know that it is an affiliate link, and I will get compensated to some degree if you choose to sign up with that link. So if you want to support me and the channel, I'd appreciate it. If not, and you want to sign up on your own accord, by all means, do that as well. I am going to pull up Redfin. When I do that, I'm going to start this conversation. I'm going to, because it's already been like an hour since I've texted this guy. Let's say, okay, if I were able to be somewhere in that ballpark, how quickly were you wanting to get it done? So have his price, looking to get his timeline. If the price is a little bit more attractive than what I just found by running comps on Redfin, then I may, and his timeline is kind of like, yeah, I'll sell it, soon. Then I may just try to get him on the phone. But other than that, today I've gotten from the automation going out a lot of no's. I've gotten about one, two, three, four, five, six, seven hard no's, being people who it came across like they were the actual homeowner. Beyond that, I've gotten a bunch of people cursing me out and telling me to stop texting them. But I got seven no's from people who it leads me to believe that they are the true homeowners. And those are the people who I really try to keep track of and remove from my dialer as well. So let me figure out where this property was. Okay. South of. Boom, right? Her. I swear I just comped this, or maybe it's just because they're on the same driving for dollars list. Same exact area as another one. Move outline. I'm going to draw. Give me homes that only sold around here in this little pocket. Give me sold in the last year house with square feet. What was it again on this? was like 1500, 1260. So give me minimum 1,000, maximum 1,500. The lot on it was like 5,600 if I remember correctly. 5,200. So show me a lot with a minimum of uh, I'll just go max. Well, I guess minimum 2,000, max 8,000. Year built on this was 50. So show me properties from 40 to 60. Oh, I had a good amount of comps there until I did the date. They're just much newer, I guess. Much newer. Yeah. What did I say? 40 to 60. That only gives me 3 properties, 2 of which are on my side of this road. So I'm going to. Oh, I didn't even have the square footage max either. Jeez, 1260 to what did I say, 1600 for now. Can I bring that down to 1500? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna say sold within the last 2 years. Still doesn't give me any other properties. Gosh. All right. So here's one sold for. This is the one that sold for the most on the other side of the road. Just barely on the other side of the road though. 181. I mean, I'm not even gonna look at that one right now. This one sold 115. It has an extra bathroom. It has an extra 200 square feet. It is a bigger lot, but 1 year older. And this one sold about 9 months ago. I would say about 30 off of 115. What does that give us? 85. This one sold as is. So that's not too bad. It's not bad. Here's another one that sold, it looks like, as is for 105. This one, same beds, bath as ours. This one has 200 square feet less than ours. 2 years older and slightly bigger lot. I would say 20 above selling, which is 125. This one sold as is, but in better condition than the last. So depending on condition, I would probably be on this property anywhere between what I say 85 and 120 as is. 125, anywhere between 85 and 125. And he's asking, what was it, 93? Something like that. Hey, Derek, how you been? What's going on, Caxi? Been good, been good. How about you? He said next 3 months. Boom. All right, I'm gonna try to get him on the phone. All right. Did you have a moment? Did you have a moment to take a quick phone call so that I can learn a bit about property? And I'm getting. That's pretty fire. That's a good deal right there, I think. Especially with this one selling 181. Um, what was it? Square foot on ours? 200. So it's about 20 square feet less, or 200 square feet less. One extra bed. So 10, 30 off of 181, 151. Oh, call me around 7. That's not gonna work for me. Uh, same, pretty much same year build, same lot size, fixed up. When I say 10, does it have an extra bed and bath? Has an extra bed and bath. 10, 20, 40 off of 181, 141. Yeah, I would need to be probably at his. Well, I mean, these other ones that went as is are a little bit more reassuring. As long as they did in fact sell for what it's showing. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull these up into batch leads. And see what it says there in terms of sold price. It was purchased by an LLC. Listed at 105. Let's see if I can see. I think 105 is what it was purchased for, which is what it was listed at. Oh no, what the, I don't know. Yeah. All right, and then this one. Oh, these are on the same street, right down the street from each other. These comps. This one says it sold for 115, or rather, it was listed at 115 on Redfin. Is where I'm running these comps. Why didn't that one get imported? This one does not have any information whatsoever. So I'm just going to go ahead and assume that it sold for what it was listed for at 115. Redfin estimate on that now is 194. God. What about this one? 156 on this one. Jeesh. And now I wonder what the estimate is for our property here. 141 is the Redfin estimate. Hey Derek, how you been? Get it locked up. Let's go. I've been good, Caxi. I think I answered that for you though. Get it locked up. I'm gonna try. Got a contract today, bro. Let's go. ARV 275, repairs 60, contract price 107. That sounds like a home run. What? What? 275 ARV for that on a $60,000 repair job? I would have offered what? Jeez. I would have had my max at like 150. Bro, If those numbers check out, that's a home run right there. Congratulations. Everybody hit the like button for King Works. Dang, let's go. You're always providing so much value. Love it. Of course, Lala. I try my best. I try my best. I know what I've gathered is really the value comes from me succeeding as well. You know what I mean? Like it's one thing for me to sit here and talk about it, but another for me to really hop on the phone with sellers and so that you guys can hear me. Uh, and not only hear me, but see it work. I know there's benefit in that. So that's what my goal is nowadays recently is just try to not only hop on here and talk with you guys and kind of shoot the shit, but also be really locking things up. You know what I mean? And improving to you or anybody else that ends up watching this that it's possible, right? King Works is a testament to that. So congratulations again, man. That is awesome. If the way my numbers make sense, you should be able to find a buyer at like 170, to be quite honest. Yeah, man, conservatively. As long as those numbers check out, I think you'd be looking at a buyer at like 160 to 160 probably. Um, that's wild. About to head out and make some dinner. I'll check back in a little bit. All right, La La. Thanks for hopping in here. Appreciate that. This guy said, call me around 7. I'll call him. I'm just not going to be able to be in front of my computer. I'm going to tag this guy. He's worth tagging, in my opinion. Follow up. I'm going to leave notes here for myself. As is comps. Drop these Redfin links in my notes section. Just 2. Oh, wait, did I get the other one? Yeah. Say ARV difficult to determine, but as is value based on comps in the area. I said 85 to 120. That's like an issue though, because ARV difficult to determine, but as is value based on comps in the area. 85 to 125K. I'm gonna pull these back up just to be sure where it is that I need to be because that's too big of a range. He's asking 93, and I need to if it's something that he's willing to move forward with, if it makes sense, I need to know my numbers, especially because I'm not going to be in front of my computer when I call him. So this one again sold 105, same beds, baths, 200 square feet smaller. So ours could probably go upwards of 125. It has a bigger lot, but it's 2 years older. I'll just play it. Well, and it sold 5 months ago. I say we could probably at 125 in this condition. The condition's very nice. Not very nice. Sorry, it's as is, but it's not anything crazy. It would probably need an average rehab as long as the roof and foundation and AC are in good condition. So I'll say 125. And I mean that alone right there is allowing me to just agree to his price. You know what I mean? So now I just need to hit it off with the guy, build some rapport, make an offer, and make it sound like it's not too sweet. Um, and then this other one sold definitely in as is condition, pretty poor shape, looks vacant. This one sold for 115. It has an extra bath, so ours could go for probably 105. It has an extra 200 square feet on the lot. So ours could probably go for 85. Home being sold as is, where is. Um, it does have a detached carport, not garage. Slightly bigger lot. Well, the lot's kind of significantly bigger and 1 year older build. So I think like, yeah, 80, 85 in this condition, which is really poor. Uh, so I'll say 125 in decent shape. Um, I don't know. This one sold almost a year ago too, so probably like what he's asking. You know what I mean? Like 90 to 95 in really bad shape. So if it's in really rough shape, I'll talk him off that 90-95. I'm obviously going to try to talk him off regardless, but that's pretty reassuring to know. Um, let's say 90 to 125, depending on condition. Set myself a task to call at 5 p.m., which is 7 p.m. his time. Um, Pre-qualified condition and motivation. Get up. I'm gonna set myself an alarm so I don't forget. At around 4:50. Saying call seller. Um, Save all this. Hop back over to my conversations. I think I had one other person who was responding kind of favorably. Stop. No, take me off your list. Not for sale. Not for sale. I swear I had one other person. Here we go. Teresa said, "What deal did you have in mind?" I'm gonna say, well, it really. I hate saying this. Let me see what my template is for how much. I'm gonna say, well, it really depends on the condition that the place is in. What can you tell me about it? How old is the roof? Any major or minor repairs needed? But at the same time, like I don't really mind sending that off. I don't like sending stuff off like that because it's so generic and um, but it's text messages and if she was truly motivated, she wouldn't be coming at me so sideways. Like, what deal did you have in mind? You know what I mean? So I can't really think too much into it and just gotta keep it pushing. Reply and keep it pushing. Have that abundance mindset. But I will tag her as follow up, and I will go ahead and kind of just leave a note for myself. I like doing this. I leave a note for myself asking the task check in. Any response from seller? If not, place her in the appropriate follow-up campaign. I don't want to just drop her in a campaign right now. I want to give her like a day to reply. But if I don't hear from her by tomorrow afternoon, then I'm just going to go ahead and put her into a different campaign that will follow up with her automatically. Um, that way, I'm not having to come in and manually set myself follow-up tasks to reach back out to her, right? Because this isn't somebody who I just want to disregard, but it's also not somebody who I'm wanting to spend a bunch of time with because she essentially is still unqualified, not pre-qualified, however you want to mention it, say it. But yeah, that's what I had going today. Again, I had like went through all the and I had a bunch of people um as I was talking DM me. So this guy Cash, so I'm gonna go ahead and send him the email with the property information. Uh, say flip rent opportunity in this zip code. I'll come back and I'll say, well, first I want to see if I included him in my buyers list already. Oops. Just want to make sure that he is in there. He is. Then I'll say, perfect. Just sent it over. Take a look and let me know what you think. If there's any interest, we have a time set aside this weekend to have everybody walk the property. How do you run your comps, or did you see average price per square foot? I use I typically use either Redfin or batch leads. Angie here, who I'm not friends with, messaged me, "Hey Derek, saw that you were looking to buy properties in Houston." That's not what I said. You have any specific buying criteria? Please give me your email and my phone number so I can add you to my list. Nah, that's not what I said. A couple people commented on my photo that I posted just to my wall. Where is it located? Houston, Texas, zip this. What city? People are so weird. Houston. The zip as it is included in. Oh no, I didn't include it. I'm tripping. I gotta edit this. Ah, that's my fault. I'm always doing that. I need to just slow down, man. I'm running all over the place. Uh, hardly eating anything today. All right, what I'm gonna do is close out these tabs, and I'm going to delete all of the people from my dialer who have expressed in or lack of interest rather through text today, so that I don't waste my time with them at a later date. Looks like I already did these earlier, but I have a few that I did not get to. These three. Mark them not interested. I don't think I'm going to get around to doing some cold calling. I need to skedaddle. Not interested. Not interested. Come back over to REI reply where I do my texting, and I will remove any duplicates based off of these people. Couple duplicates there. One duplicate here. Boom. Cleaned it up. Dialers cleaned. Text platforms cleaned. responded to everybody that I needed to. Expecting one response from this woman. Hopefully, she gives me some information about the condition, and I'm going to reach out to that guy who gave me a favorable price and timeline in about 2 hours. So that's that. And then I have everything else going with the dispo. Um, yeah, and then I'm just really hoping to tomorrow. What I'm probably gonna do is I'm just gonna continue reaching out to as many people on Facebook as possible. Um, I'm going to right now, or did I just do that? This is about 2 hours ago. I'll do it right before I leave. Repost it into Craigslist a few times. Bump my Facebook group post tomorrow, or maybe this afternoon, and then again tomorrow morning, and just round back with everybody who's already expressed interest. That's really what my goal here is just to get as many people confirmed for the walkthrough, so that it at least gives off the impression that a lot of people are interested. Right. Well, it's not even going to be the impression. It will be fact. If I have, you know, if I was able to schedule, like, coordinate so many people to get out there and walk the property, when they get out there and they see everybody else, they're going to be eager to get their offer in. Right. Hopefully. That's the goal here. So, wish us luck. Wish us luck. Again, congratulations, Kingworks. That's amazing. That's inspirational to me. I can only imagine that you're inspiring everybody else in here who sees that. So, whether you're watching this live or watching this after the fact, do me a favor, hit that like button, not only to support me and the channel, but to show support to Kingworks, and congratulations to him. And do me a favor, subscribe if you haven't already. I try to go live once a day, Monday through Friday, with the exception of Wednesdays. So I have been trying to go live multiple times a day to kind of offset that. I have a goal to hit 250 subscribers by the end of March. So I'm going to need your guys' help in order to get that done. So whether you know somebody that may benefit from the information, you're just starting out in your wholesaling career with a partner of yours, whatever the case may be, the more the merrier. So I'd appreciate it if you shared it with anybody, so that we can get those subscribers up. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. See you tomorrow morning. Until then, hopefully I will have a good update for you from this person that I'm getting ready to speak to in a few hours. But until then, peace.